Welcome to Too Old. I am super excited for today's episode, super excited to introduce our wonderful guest and to get into the reading, so we're going to jump right into it. In the last quarter of 2017, I moved to Houston, Texas, baby. Population 2.3 million. From Rochester, New York. Population 207,000. This move from small city to large, from east to Gulf Coast, was a hell of a change. But I had to make it work to make my dreams come true. Too old is for everyone who thinks they're too old to start over. Everyone who has gripped their balls and done it anyway. Everyone who takes risk. Everyone who is scared. Everyone living their best lives. And everyone who is tired of letting life pass them by. Too Old is for you. As you all know, Too Old is an extension of the blog that is emailed nearly daily to subscribers. Go to banketheauthor.com and scroll all the way to the bottom of the page to sign up to receive these messages straight to your email. And while you are scrolling, you will have plenty of opportunities to buy your limited edition copy of New Black, as well as read the ebook for free. That's right, I said free. Y'all know that we shoot this in one take without editing because life ain't perfect, but God is. Today's episode is brought to you by Dean's Downtown, the home of Banke's Third Tuesday Comedy Party. You all know that Dean's is on 316 Main Street, the corner of Main and Prescott, right off the red line, all right? So it's a wonderful spot, and you'll hear more about it later. And our guest for today is Banke, the author herself. We'll introduce her after the reading and get her thoughts on what she heard. It'll be her first time hearing this, so she'll be responding in real time, as well as all things about aging. All right? Old age is like everything else. To make a success of it, you've got to start young. The last 2 weekends have taught me a valuable lesson. I'm officially too old for outside. Not outside. I'll take a sunny 85 degrees day with a nice breeze spent at the park or someone's backyard any day of the week. Got some good food and drink with live art like a dope band or some unique poets, comics who ain't all talking the same shit. Sign me up. But please miss me with the DJs who can't blend or mix for shit. The stuck-up crowds too cute to dance, the hookah and blasé stares while we fake turn up for our camera phones. I'm good. I'm a grown-up. That's why Third Tuesday Comedy Party is my jam. There's craft cocktails, gourmet tacos by a black chef, a DJ who knows what the fuck he's doing, a sexy, fun crowd who knows how to put their phones down. Indoor and outdoor space at a downtown venue, Dean's Downtown to be specific, comics with fresh perspectives, and a gracious queen at the helm. See you there. Can't wait until next week. Catch me this Friday in Sugarland. I'll be accompanying Matthew Hartnett and his top tier band. It'll be very demure, very mindful, very cutesy. P.S. Today's opening quote is from Theodore Roosevelt. That's it. I don't know much about his presidency. Didn't he wrestle a bear? But I do know that he's right. I've been preparing for old age my whole life. That's why I created Too Old, a podcast about embracing aging. If you like these emails, you'll love the podcast. And if you love the podcast, you'll like the emails. All right, the above picture has all the deets for Friday. If you're grown and sexy, you'll love the vibe. PPPS, if you need a laugh, check out my latest comedy routine. PPPS, Third Tuesday is next week. Click the button above to get your free ticks before they sell out. All right, so that is about it for me. You've heard all of my thoughts. You've heard the reading, but let's get into what our guest has to say about what she heard. All righty. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. Okay, I've been waiting to get in your podcast. I've heard so many amazing things. All righty. I'm just going to hold because the audio engineers are scrambling to make sure it still sounds good. Do I need to lift this up? titty jiggle to keep everybody on track. All right, so I mean, there was so much in what you just shared. First off, that was dope. Like, kudos to you. So you said you send those blogs nearly daily? Oh, she's giving me the wrap it up, focus on me key. Okay. All right. Well, I enjoyed what you shared. Yeah, let's talk about DJs who don't mix for shit. I think that was a direct quote. Listen, we all got bomb ass playlists. You know what I mean? Like, so if I'm gonna step outside, if I'm gonna go somewhere and they play the whole fucking song, like what are you here for? Like my Spotify, my YouTube music playlist. I mean, even title, that shit goes harder than you playing the whole song out, right? Like I was at it's a black owned venue, so I'm not gonna say the name. I only talk about black owned venues when they do a good job. But I was at this spot and it's been like a beacon for the grown and sexy in Houston for a long time. And I was so disappointed because the DJ was lazy. And then I'm like, who is paying this nigga? Because if I'm the venue owner or I manage the joint and he's playing the whole fucking song and he ain't mixing in and he ain't adding no air horns, you know what I mean? Bim, bim, bim. Like if I don't hear any of that, it's not a good time. What else did you talk about? Too old for outside. Yeah, I'm at that point, right? Being an artist and being an entrepreneur, I have spent a lot of time at a lot of events. And it always makes my heart smile when they're executed properly, right? Like, even the people who own this space, like they do like event production and all their stuff is top tier. And also, I'm sick of being outside. Like, I'm ready to be indoors doing big back shit. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be making s'mores while watching Netflix. I want to charge the battery on my rolls and, get myself good after 30 seconds. Like, I don't want to be on the scene all the time. Like, and I damn sure don't want to see no hookah. Like, these niggas are addicts. Like, I don't know if it's fentanyl or lean in the hookah, but it's really out of hand, Like, and then the part when you were talking about people with their phones out for the fake turn up, I see that with people of all generations, and it's sad because instead of being in the moment, we rather chronicle it. Like we want to prove to some people who are not even fucking here that we're having such a good time, as opposed to actually having that good time, right? So that is why you slash I, we're the same person if you guys haven't picked up on that yet. That's why we created Third Tuesday Comedy Party, because it's Toni Morrison has this quote: if there's a book that you want to read that doesn't exist, then that means you need to write it. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially it. So if you find yourself that the entertainment choices aren't quite hitting the spot, then you have to create your own. And that's what I found. I found that, again, Houston, a population of 2.3 million people, we do not lack for options of things to do. Every day of the week, there's things to do. But what makes something a unique vibe? I think it's a unique vibe when the creator really kind of reverse engineers, like, what do I really like? What do I want to see? And for me, I love a good DJ. So shout out to Ruin Everything, my DJ, because he mixes, right? I love somebody who's responsive to the crowd. Yeah, I love indoor and outdoor space. That's why even though Dean's is not black owned, and very rarely do we shout out a business that's not. But the fact that they have the patio outside and it's right on the rail line and you can see the train and you can see the tall buildings, it's just like quintessential downtown Houston, right? And there's a lot of black people who get paid from our show. Myself, the DJ, Dewan of Mana Eats, our black chef who makes the best fucking tacos in Houston. That's right, I said it. I don't know if black people can culturally appropriate, but nigga, we could do it too. So all of that is like the ambiance, right? And Dean's itself, like the furniture, like it's like a sexy but comfortable. It's not like, oh, you gotta feel like you gotta put on your waist trainer, you gotta have like a bad bitch contest. Like, no, you can come and let your gut out, you know what I mean? And still be cute, and have a good time. And then the comics that we book every month, they are they're special. We get people, they might be from India, they might be from China, they might be from Houston, they might be a transplant. Like, I hand pick them because I know they have a unique perspective. I don't want to hear a whole bunch of comics talking about the same shit. We like to switch it up. And so Third Tuesday is special in that way. Being from a small city, whenever I tell people I'm from New York, they assume I'm from New York City, but I'm from Rochester, New York, which is 6 hours away from New York City, an hour away from the Canadian border. And so we don't have that many just entertainment options. The poverty rate and the homicide rate is extremely high. So sometimes you don't really feel safe going out to the options that are available. But in Houston, there are so many places. And so if you're sick of being outside, I would say enjoy it is about to be cuffing season anyway. So I would say enjoy that. But also don't be afraid to venture out to something that's a bit more unique. Wow, you said a lot. That was very rich. Thank you for really breaking down your thought process behind Third Tuesday. I have been there, which is why I wrote the blog about it, and I can definitely attest to is everything that you say, and I think that it's special for sure. So, we're going to keep this one pretty short because I think we hit all the topics, but I do want to ask you what role do you think aging plays in one curating events as well as deciding where you should be? Yes, that's a great question. I think again, when you get older, your taste gets a bit more refined. You know what you like and you know what you don't, right? So when curating, you again imagine in a perfect world what exactly would you want to see, how exactly would you want the vibe to feel, and then you make it. And then in regards to selecting where you go, time is money. We all get 168 hours in a week. It doesn't matter how rich, poor, black, white, polka dot, wherever the fuck you got going on, you get 168 hours in a week. So I'm not going to spend about an hour getting dressed, maybe 30 minutes in transit to get someplace that's not special, right? And so I do more research now than I used to. Before somebody said, "Oh, you should come to this thing," I would just pull up, but I really don't have time for it. So I have to kind of look into it more. I need to hear more than one person saying it's a good time. Some things that I've found that are a bit off the beaten path, like I like the So Far Houston shows. Are you familiar with those? Well, okay, I'll just act like you're not. So far, Houston, they're musical concerts that they do every week in Houston, and they do them all over the country. So it'll be so far Miami or Atlanta, LA. But they don't tell you who the artist is, and they don't tell you the venue until the day of. So you just buy your ticket based off of their reputation and their rave reviews, and then the day of they release the venue name as well as the artist. So it's something that's a bit more mysterious, and the spots that they have these in are typically a bit off the beaten path. The museum district is one of my faves, particularly because on Thursday, all the museums are free. So if you haven't been to the Museum of Fine Arts or the Contemporary Art Museum or the African American Museum, yes, we have one of those in Houston. Thursday is a good day to just see if you like it or not because it's free. Of course, Third Tuesday, like, I don't promote anything that I don't really believe in, and I don't create anything that I don't believe in. So I can really say that it's one of the best vibes in the city. And I've done comedy all over. Um, I've seen plenty of comics who are funnier than me, right? But not once, not ever, not in Dallas, not in Atlanta, not in DC, not in New York City, not in Charlotte. Nowhere that I have toured have I seen a show that's iller than Third Tuesday Comedy Party. And I put my name on that. Okay, pop your shit then. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Banke. Thank you so much for having me. Yes. Thank you for being a bad motherfucker on both sides of the mic. We'll see you guys for another episode of Too Old. And don't worry, there will be a guest. But sometimes it's good to fly solo um, just because you can. What Kendrick says, sometimes you got to pop out and show niggas. And we always do. We love y'all. God bless.